5 life lessons that I learned from football. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to today's video. I know it's been a while since I've made a video, but I'm back and I have a lot of things to share. And today I'm just going to be sharing the 5 life lessons that I learned from playing football. So before I get into these 5 life lessons, I'm just going to put it out there. I used to play football in high school. Basically played football my whole life, as a kid, into my teens. And yeah, just played in high school as well. And I learned a lot of lessons. And something that people don't actually get is that football and other sports can actually teach you a lot about life. It's not just about the sport, but you can also learn a lot about life itself. And with football, I feel like there's so many life lessons that one can learn from football. And today I'm just going to be discussing those 5 that I learned. Okay. Number 1, the importance of discipline. Okay. Discipline is something that you need, that every individual needs in order to perform a certain task in order to accomplish certain goals in their lives. And what football did for me in that sense is that it taught me the importance of discipline. It taught me the importance of putting in the work each and every day, day after day, and sometimes not getting the results, but continuing to be disciplined and showing up for practices, for practice, showing up for football games, showing up for extra practice as well. And what that did for me is that it built discipline within my mindset, and it allowed me to be able to carry that into other areas of my life. Currently in my life, I am using discipline, as something that is probably a navigation tool, in order to get things done. And I think that if you don't have discipline, you cannot get a lot of things done, because you're going to need discipline each and every day. And football taught me that some days you won't even feel like going to practice. Some days you won't feel like, doing the extra work, but you just have to do it, no matter how you feel. And I just feel like discipline is very important, and I learned it through football. Lesson number 2, the importance of hard work. Okay, so hard work, this is just a concept that we hear a lot, the importance of hard work, just grinding, just putting in the work, just doing all of these other things just to make it in our lives. And what they always tell us is that we need hard work. So hard work is something that I have learned in football. I have learned that if I work for the things that I want, within the sport, I was able to get those results out. So it was just basically putting in the work, in practice and games, just maybe doing some extra work out of the field, just watching football games, to study the game. And what that taught me is that hard work and just doing work overall does bring results. And I did see the results. So hard work is something that I learned from football, and I think that you can take that as well. If you're playing football, you can take the work that you're doing as well in football, and you can correlate it to what you're doing in your life, other things that you're doing in your life, and just understand the concept of hard work as well. Number 3, consistency. Consistency. Okay, consistency is something that is very important in this video, because in football, what I learned, is that if I showed up to practice day after day, if I showed up to matches match after match, and if I performed at a high level, of performance, day after day, match after match, I knew that I was getting better. So consistency is something that I can take now into my regular life, into my life, into my everyday life. And just know that if I consistently do something, if I do something and I make it into a habit every single day, that is going to bring out the results that I need. So consistency is something that I think that it is an important concept that sports teaches us. And what football taught me is that consistency will get you towards your goal. It will take you closer to your goal. Number 4, the ability to bounce back. Okay, number four is probably something that I can just look back to my football career and I can just take that lesson, the ability to bounce back so many times into my everyday life, And I'm going to share a story with you. When I started playing football, when I started playing for the local teams, playing with other kids, I actually had low confidence. I had low confidence. And I remember this other time when there was a penalty shootout in one of the matches that I was playing and I was still a little kid, And I felt so much pressure because it was my first penalty shootout and it was I think one of my first matches just playing with other kids, in a local team, And guess what? I missed the penalty. And I remember game after game, we continued to go to penalty shootouts, and I missed penalty after penalty after penalty, which just costed my teams, costed my team. And I just remember that little kid just wanting to give up, just wanting to just, quit. And I remember at that time I was with my brother who was also playing football. I was with my brother and he basically just gave me a pep talk, just not to stop playing and just, those things. And I was so close to quitting football. I was so close to just stop just stopping, football totally at that young age. And I didn't. I didn't quit, I continued to play and I just got back on my football pitch and I bounced back. Years later, fast forward to years later, I was playing in the school team for my school and I was one of the best players on there. I was even the vice captain of that team. So what this tells you is that what this tells you is that in life, you are going to have those moments where you feel like giving up, where you feel like quitting, I think everyone has those moments. But with this lesson that I took from football, I can always look back to it and say, you know, I never quit and I didn't give up. And later in my footballing career, I saw so much success because I didn't quit. So you can also take that into your life, the ability to bounce back. I think football is a brutal sport at times. It can be unforgiving and it can teach us that you just have to keep going no matter how much pain and how much just brutalness you are experiencing from the sport. So have the ability to bounce back and keep going. Teamwork. Okay, teamwork is something that I used to battle with when I was still playing. And I think that teamwork just really teaches you that you don't have to do it alone in life. It just teaches you that you don't always have to try and do it alone in life. And in football, you unless you're Messi, you can't just take the ball and dribble every player, and score a goal. But you actually have to pass around your teammates. You have to pass the ball, and your other teammates, they will help you also to win the football game. So I just believe that teamwork can also be echoed into other areas of your life. It can be echoed into other areas of my life. And I just feel like if you're able to incorporate other people into your life, not just anyone, but people that you trust, people that you genuinely trust, man. And if you can be able to just, not do this life thing alone and actually just ask for help where you need help, with maybe a certain task, maybe something that you have to get done, maybe with advice here and there. I feel like teamwork has taught me that I don't have to do it alone at all times, and it doesn't always have to be me, alone, but you can actually get help from other people. You can actually, get assistance from other people, to get things done. There you go, guys. 5 life lessons that I learned from football. I really hope that this video helped someone. And before I end this video, I just want to say that I know that I haven't been making videos for a while now, that I haven't been posting. I haven't posted in a while now, and I just want to say that, with this video, you know, making the 5 lessons that I learned from football, 5 life lessons that I learned from football, you know, I just feel like I want to share more, you know, more life lessons, if you can say. I just feel like there's another part of me that I have to express through this channel, and I'm going to continue sharing that part, you know. So make sure you stay tuned, man. Make sure you stay tuned for just more content like this. And I just feel like I'm a Christian, you know. I'm a Christian, for those who don't know. I just feel like I can also share my faith, you know, with this type of approach that I'm going with right now. And yeah, make sure to stay tuned, guys. And I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I hope that you learned a lot from today's video. And yeah, this is me signing out right now. I shall see you in the next. Bye bye.